Alright, so we have a three-statement truth table we need to create here. And you may have seen this in another video, but if not, this is the first video you've watched. I'm going to show you how we do that. So if we have three statements, remember the rule is for three statements we have 2 to the 3 rows. 2 to the 3 power is 8. There's going to be 8 rows in this three-statement truth table. So the way to create those is to start the first row out and do 4 truths and then 4 falses. This is the way the homework does it, and so that way your multiple choice answer will match up with whatever my solution is here. Now with Q, we're going to do 2 truths, 2 falses. 2 truths, 2 falses. And then for R, we'll alternate true, false every time. So true, false, all the way down. And so what you see here is we've created all the possible combinations here that are possible. All 3 true on the first row, all 3 falses on the last row. We have 2 truths at the beginning, 1 at the front, 1 at the end, and then down here we have 2 at the end. So that's the three scenarios where it's true twice, and then where it's false twice. The next to last row has 2 falses at the beginning, and then we have a false at the front and false at the back, and then the fourth row has 2 falses at the end, which are all the possible permutations. In fact, is the word for that, and we'll learn that in a later chapter. So now let's do our our column for not P. Alright, so we're just going to reverse P. So P was 4 truths, 4 falses, so now it's going to be 4 falses, 4 truths for not P. Now we're going to do the conditional, not P, then Q. So remember with a conditional, it's false only one time, and that condition is when the first thing is true, when the not P is true, and when Q is false. So let's find all the situations where not P is true and then Q is false. True, 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 true. So the last 2 rows will be false, and all the other values in the table must be true. We don't even need to check them because we know it's only has that one exception, right? So go find the exception. The rule, most of these rules have an exception where it's there's one certain little case that makes it always be one either true or false, and then the rest of them you don't really need to check them once you understand that rule. Alright, so now let's do the row, excuse me, the column, I keep saying row, for Q, then not R. So I'm going to skip doing the not R row just to show you that you don't have to do it if you can keep it in your head that we're going to look for a true, and then not R would be a false, right? So true and a false right here, this means this is going to be false. Again, conditionals, we're looking for true falses. Or in our case, we're going to be looking for true truths because we're going to negate the second one. And so that row right there is false as well, right? Because Q and not true, right, is false. True, false is going to be false. Now the rest of these will all be true. Alright, and so now for our last statement, we're going to do a conditional of all of that. Alright, not P, then Q, then not R. Alright, so we're going to compare these 2 rows here, this one and this one. Alright, so again, this is a conditional, so we're looking for a true, false will be false. So there's a false, and there's a false, and then the rest of these by default have to be true. It's kind of a fast way to get you through a truth table. And so therefore you go compare this to the answer, and you can see that answer choice C is the correct answer. Now you see how I've done it this way, and so this way that I said that will match the homework. Notice how I have 4 truths and then 4 falses. Alright, that's exactly what the answer choice has. Now if you did it some other way, you're going to need to check line by line to make sure that when P is Q, Q is true, P is true, Q is true, and R is true, that you get a false. Alright, you have to check it line by line. But if you do it the way I did it, you see they do 2 truths, 2 falses for Q. They use that same pattern I did. And so that way, when you're done, all you need to do is check that you have this same order that they have over here, which is false, true, 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 false, true, true, true. Alright, so again, just be careful to check your answers if you decided to create your truth table in a different way.